and I think this goes on into the capabilities and some of the features linked to IMDb. I've realized, of course, as myself, as a user of IMDb, as an actor myself, I've realized, some emails and notifications that come up with, what to watch, certain suggestions for people, who want to watch certain things from Netflix, Amazon, etc. Was this a response specifically to the lockdown that we're going through right now? And what other measures have IMDb put in place to try to, sensitize people more about the website and come to use it and gain traffic?
Yeah, so the interesting thing is it's more part of a long-term strategy to connect storytellers to their audience. So one of the things is when you've got this amazing set of movies, shorts, shows, web series available, data on them in IMDb, the next logical question is kind of, well, that's great, but now where can I see it?
Right.
So it's part of our what to watch, where to watch program. So the what to watch element of that is more about making recommendations to you. So as you mentioned in kind of like the emails and on the homepage. So early in 2020, we had redone our homepage to focus on what to watch, to include recommendations, to surface things from your watch list, to show you things that are available on streaming services that you might have access to. So we'd already done that at the start of 2020. We'd launched a what to watch page and experience on the site and on the apps. And then the pandemic hit. And everybody was largely at home, and everybody was watching more shows and looking for more recommendations. So although part of a long-term strategy, I think we were very fortunate that we just, kind of improved those features just ahead of audiences suddenly having much more time to watch things. So that was thing number one. Now, the second thing, of course, is one of the things we liked to do was cover the world of entertainment. So we would, back in February of 2020, we had just been at the Oscars. We'd run a live studio from Elton John's Oscar party, and we were getting ready to go to South by Southwest in Austin, Texas, which was going to be in March of 2020, ahead of our usual kind of thing that we do every year at San Diego Comic-Con, where we rent a huge boat, and we normally have the director, Kevin Smith, come on board, and he interviews celebrities on the IMD boat. That's what we call it, the IMD boat. We normally have this kind of like plan of real events around the world, and we suddenly had to kind of switch to like a virtual model, which it's not without its challenges. I think the technology was a lot more new and kind of like, hey, could we do this over Zoom? People with Zoom?
Zoom, yeah,
what's
exactly.
that?
Yep.
Kind of thing. But we did do that. So we started to switch to doing our interview shows, kind of like just over the internet. And I would love to be out there in the real world, but it's better to be safe and better to wait for things to calm down. And what we found was that people were actually more available. And I've seen people in the industry talk about this now and say, wow, you mean like I can promote my film or my show from my lounge, and I don't have to go on a crazy world tour? Mm-hmm. Yes, please.
Yeah.
Yes, please. I'll do this. I'll do this more in future. So that kind of thing is changing. The other thing we're able to do, there was a brilliant competition that was put together by Women in Film LA and Reframe and a couple of other organisations. That was a short film competition. It was called the 2-Minute Film Challenge. And the challenge was to kind of like make a 2-minute short which would somehow capture lockdown and the times that we were in, and it was great to be able to work with them on that. I was on their jury for that. We were able to promote the winners on IMDb. Again, great opportunity to showcase the work of storytellers whose work might not have been seen. We partnered with the Easter Seals Disability Challenge, and that's an organisation that for every year has held like an awards and a competition for people who are disabled or people who want to tell stories that are relevant to a disabled audience. They have this competition, and so they switched to doing that online as well, and so we joined in with that. I was on their jury for that. We were able to stream the awards ceremony and post the winners on IMDb. And again, I think that was one of those things where for some of those filmmakers, because of their disability, it might have been harder for them to attend a real awards show, or to actually just actually be involved. Yeah. And so it kind of like helped level the playing field. So there are, even though these are terrible times, there have been some positive things that have come out of that. That have come out of that change. So that's what's going on there.
I think it's really good, because even if when we do get back to normal times and being able to travel and go out to do these sorts of things, the capabilities have been expanded and strengthened so much that it just offers more versatility to allow certain things to happen. So I think the industry moving forward is even in a stronger position than it was. The only thing that I've kind of really been wondering about, and of course myself as an actor, myself as a moviegoer, anyone who's interested in the industry, is just how the cinemas are going to manage moving forward, because there's so much opportunity for people to just put things on Amazon, put things on Netflix, and they're getting such a good reception from it, but you just wonder how much of a hit the industry is taking revenue wise. What's going to happen?
Yeah. Well, I'm a big believer in seeing a film with an audience.
I agree.
I think there's something special about sitting in the dark, watching the story unfold in front of you. Yep. No distractions, no mobile phones. Just kind of like you and the story kind of on your own, but together as a shared experience, either laughing together, feeling the tension in the audience together, crying together, maybe, depending on the film, or whatever. And that's very hard to replicate. So my thing has always been, I would much rather see a film with an audience. And so before all of this happened, I would be like in the cinema like 4 or 5 times a week. I would travel to maybe about 6 to 8 film festivals a year, where you're kind of like really in an intense viewing period kind of thing. So I would see a lot of movies with an audience. But here you go. Here's the important thing. So best experience, see a film with an audience. But better than not seeing it at all is seeing it at home. And not everybody has the opportunity to go to the cinema that often. I remember, like, when our kids were born, we would look forward to grandparents coming down to stay, because it would be our only chance to get to the cinema. If you've got family commitments, if physically it's difficult for you to get to a cinema, all of this means it's easier for more people to see more films. And so at the end of the day, that's what really counts. Storytellers get to tell stories to audiences, and it's not kind of like one size fits all. You must see everything in the cinema, or you can never see anything in the cinema. So I'm hopeful of a recovery, but I'm also hopeful that people can continue to enjoy films wherever they are.
Definitely.
Yeah,
and I think that's an amazing point you made, that we have that choice, and when things do get back to normal, I think people have just missed the like you say, the experience of just going out there, feeling that vibe with other people reacting to action films and all of that. And I think that's probably one of the reasons that the latest James Bond film hasn't come out properly yet, because they're waiting for that cinematic experience. And I think it's awesome. I listen to some podcasts in the US, and you hear some of the people talking about how much they miss just going to the cinema, whether it be on their own or with their friends and everything. And I'm definitely one of those as well. So totally understand that. And the next question then, switching gears slightly, is a little bit about you and trying to understand what you like to kind of do in your spare time. So because of course we are locked down, we can't really travel very much. Where are the types of places you would love to go to when you get the opportunity to? Is there a favorite sport, travel sport?
So as I say, I'm a big. I love traveling to film festivals. I love like meeting people in the kind of like from the local town, wherever the local city where the film festival might be. And then it's kind of nice because you'll often run into people kind of on the circuit, so you kind of like them from all the film festivals. So I love going to Cannes. I love the Cannes Film Festival. I think my first red carpet at Cannes is kind of like a top 5 life experience.
So
that was I was fairly late, I guess. My first Cannes was in 2008.
Okay.
So it wasn't actually that long ago. But the last Cannes I was at, because of course last year's was cancelled. I'm good friends with the director Nicholas Winding Refn, and he was doing a TV show which Cannes had chosen to program 2 episodes together at the Cannes Film Festival.
Okay.
And so he said, well, do you wanna come in the car and ride to the premiere? So my wife and I we weren't in Nicholas's car, we were in the entourage, arriving driving down the Croisette in this kind of like row of Cannes limos. And then you get out and you just step onto the carpet. Nobody cares about checking your ticket because you're in an official car with the director, and like walking up the stairs with the director to his premiere, and then getting to sit with everyone in the filmmakers' seats was just brilliant. And that was the last time I was in Cannes.
It's a good memory to have from that last moment. Yeah. Awesome.
Yes.
So so all your different film festival spots and everything, that's where you like to travel. Could I make a suggestion to you? Have you ever been to the Caribbean?
Yes. Yeah. So we've been to the Bahamas 3 times. We have been to Barbados, and we have been to Jamaica. And Jamaica was tremendous fun, because we were there while the Olympics were on in 2016.
Okay.
And so we watched the women's 100-meter final
Right.
from Usain Bolt's bar in
Wow.
in
Wow. That
Jamaica.
would have been lovely. Wow.
Now
Great.
you can imagine. Now there was no way we were going to get in his bar when it was his final.
Not at all. At all. I could imagine. That's awesome. That's a lovely story, man.
Yeah.
I could imagine at this
Yeah.
and when she won, what's her name again? Shelly-Ann
Yeah.
Fraser-Pryce. When she wins, it's like, yeah, it could have been hysterically crazy, bad.
Yeah. We got free beer.
Of course. Well, the next suggestion I like to make to you when you're able to travel is definitely give St. Lucia a try. If you're able
Right,
to,
yes.
check it out. It's a lovely country. It's my country of birth, but of course I'll be biased about it. But it's a lovely country. It's one of those places where there's so much natural things to look at. If you're a big nature goer and just would love to enjoy the space that you're in and the greenery and the forest and all that sort of stuff. The beaches. All Caribbean countries boast their beaches, but St. Lucia I think is a lovely one as well. The food, the people. It's a lovely place. So I'll just give that little suggestion to you there when you do get maybe a chance to travel again.
Yeah, very much looking forward to being able to travel again.
All right. So, and the last question for you, you've been so gracious with your time, and I really appreciate it. And the last question is really just trying to find out, from your perspective, I suppose, as the founder of IMDb, from your interactions with directors, actors, and everyone within the industry itself, and seeing the way the industry is going now because of the capabilities that we have that we spoke so much about earlier, what kind of advice would you like to leave for someone who is an actor aspiring, trying to get themselves in the industry, or anyone who wants to enter the industry from a business perspective? What advice would you like to leave with them?
Well, I think, and this is very standard advice, but it kind of like comes from my own position as well. It's kind of be passionate about what you do. Be passionate, because having that enthusiasm and that kind of flame inside you will be what can get you through some of the difficult times, because it isn't always easy. And I was on a virtual jury for a screenwriting competition earlier this year.
Right.
And one of my fellow jurors, we were kind of like we were talking to the entrants to the competition after we'd announced the results. And one of my fellow jurors, she said, hey, look, I know you didn't all win. You didn't all win today. There can only be one winner in this competition. But don't let that set you back. Part of the process of being in the industry is people will say no, and you have to get used to people saying no. But eventually, the right people will say yes, and that will be your right time. And that was such a that's such a good piece of advice. So be passionate. Then when people do say no, you can kind of like be strong in that and know that you're going to go somewhere. And of course, because you're talking to me, and because it's IMDb, you should definitely have an IMDb Pro subscription, and make sure your page is up to date. Add your headshots, choose the photos that you want, add your demo reel, add your additional skills to your resume. But that's my. Of course, I have to say that.
Plug you had to do. It's a shameless plug you had to get to. Lovely. Well, Paul, I would like to thank you so much for that. I think this was an outstanding interview. I was a bit nervous. I didn't know what to expect from it and how but it was a lovely interview. I really want to thank you on behalf of myself and the Actors Post, and also to Debs and Casey. I kind of give them a little shout out for their help with organizing this interview from your PR team. And, it was brilliant. Thank you very much for your time. And, good luck to you and IMDb and the IMDb team with everything that's about to happen, moving forward in the industry. And I just wish you good luck.
All right, thank you, and good luck with the actors post as well. So great to talk to you, and great to have a shared Leeds connection. You know, no matter how big the world is, we Leeds people run into each other in all kinds of places.
Exactly that.